Hey everybody, welcome back. Northern Lion plays Spelunky. I hear you loud and clear. NL, the speed runs. Come on, man. Come on. You gotta either do them, or you gotta stop doing them. We did finish at 10 minutes and 1 second in the last video. We're gonna try, here's my normal Spelunky go-to, right? If I got time for 2 Spelunky episodes, I like to have one where we give it a real chance to get to the arrow of light path. And I like to have one, depending on how that first one went, where we get a little speedrun power, okay? Now, I wonder if I could convince this guy to come down. Hello, no. Okay, let's not worry about it then. There is a pretty sizable amount of loot up there. Oh. Anyway, what was I talking about? I like to have one where I speedrun. This will be the one where we try, but sometimes you never know until you get halfway through, right? You might ask yourself, NL, what happened there? I thought I would be a clever boy, and I would jump on the snake to get some extra height. Then my brain ran a few competing calculations simultaneously, and let's just say I didn't like the way it turned out. So I'm still pretty pleased with the way we're leaving this floor. You know, we took a little risk early, but we still got 13,000. It's a bit of a tough call, but in general, oh my Lancer, dude. In general, we could steal a jetpack. I think I actually might just steal a jetpack and the bomb box and then run. So here's my understanding of how that would work. Okay. We would... Oh, just one moment, please. My good son Tomo would like to come in. Okay, Tomo. Hello, buddy. I believe that what we would do... Oh, and we would disconnect our controller. Is we would let's pick this up for a second. Then we'll pick this up. Throw this. Oh, but we want the shotgun too. It was the thought that counted. Let's put it that way. We had 2 things to pick up. Instead of picking them up, I picked up the shield, and I believe he shot me, hit the shield, ricocheted the bullets into the jetpack, and exploded. Sounds like a little complicated. Actually, like 1,000% predictable. That's not as bad as you might think. Like, I'm sorry, Monty. It's the first floor, and you know we're used to like the speedrun technology here anyway. To be honest with you, probably will miss out on a little bit of loot. Dude, that was totally fine. We even got the HP. And this floor we got Monty. Anyway, yeah, long story short, I'm not sweating it. Thought he broke the ghost pot on me. That one I would have sweated, because this floor has a great potential. Knowing that the altar's right there. But I genuinely think, I know I've said this ad nauseum recently, but I genuinely think we are really, really, at any given point, we could do either the speedrun or the arrow of light in the same video. Like, not in the same video, in any video, I guess is what I mean by that. Both of them were really like, we're just one perfect run away from making them happen. So I'm just gonna be honest with you, like, I'll drop the turkey off. There's been a lot of discourse about the way that I play with the turkeys. People, I would say, are not necessarily enormous fans of my turkey strategy on average. I can understand that. I don't value them very much at all. So I suppose I can, you know, put myself in your shoes and understand your concerns. Dunk, dunk, donkey, dunk. Just looking at this, I'll tell you, we will not be getting the Kapala right away. With that in mind, let's make sure we're bringing turkeys back to Yang's palace. I for sure think we could steal a bomb box and then save money for a potential black market. Just something that's been on my brain is like, you know, if we have the chance, I do think stealing is actually relative. I don't want to call it risk-free, but, you know, if you can get... We could even buy a box and then steal another one, for example. I don't know. Do we really want to jeopardize a run where we already have climbing gloves? We're one good Monty sacrifice, actually technically less, away from the Kapala. Maybe we'd rather just like go hard on the bombs here and recognize that we're probably going to get a bunch of money later. I don't really want the parachute right now. Like, having more bombs will allow us to get more money later. Forget that, forget that. Just take your time. Take your time, think about it. There you go, get out of there. That was very good, in my opinion. Now this is a bit of a spooky floor. Probably, I was just gonna say, probably the key will be here. I'm very happy immediately that we have actually gone through the trouble of getting those bomb boxes. Oh my god, I don't know if I've ever been jump scared more than that. Like, did you see? Are you kidding me? I'm a little upset by that one. But I think if we play our cards right, we can leave this floor without being dead. I guess we like landed on the poison. If you believe that, then I got a bridge to sell you. But we do have Monty. As long as Monty lives... Maybe, like... I mean, we did say as long as Monty lives. And then we did just let him die, but... An altar could maybe do it as well. I'm tilted, for sure. There's like an omega tilt going on here. In theory, I guess if we really put in a rush job... We could probably get Monty on the next floor. I might even say it's kind of a rarity for me. I might even say it's worth getting the freeze ray to just kill Quillback like immediately, but... Don't have a ton of time here. We'll just leave. We did get the Kapala, so Monty is like non-optional. If you see him, you gotta grab him. We may ignore Quillback in the service of hopefully not being dead. Just check here real quick, real quick. Don't see him. See him? See him. I'll admit, I'm slightly tilted by that one. It happens now and then. There's very few things that actually tilt me in Spelunky, except for other people. But one of the big ones, to be honest, is like hitbox collision when you're landing on something. And I don't necessarily think they did a bad job with it. It's just like sometimes the way that it usually happens. That's kind of got me a little bit as well. We're gonna slow it down. The way that it usually happens is you think you're gonna land on a mount, but because a mount is like 1.1 blocks tall or whatever, instead of landing on the mount, you land in front of it and then it shoots you with fire and you explode. That one kind of got me as well. Now there's multiple ways around it. Like if we just want to acknowledge that the hitboxes are trash, sorry. If we want to acknowledge that there's optimizations that could be done, perhaps from a UX standpoint, to make the hitboxes a little clearer, then so be it. We could just be like, you know what? Anytime you get the chance to throw instead of jump on an enemy that's a little bit of a challenge, let's do that in the future. So let's turn it into a learning lesson, shall we? I wanted that ruby. I mean, like, I don't think any of these runs have really, you know, been indicative of truly terrible play. I think we have had a couple of situations where we're like, you know... Perhaps a little annoyed with the way that things have gone down, but really, you know, getting poisoned is like a one-time mistake that unfortunately carries a disproportionate cost. Long story short, life goes on. What is there to be said about that? What is there to be said about that? All right, just simmer down, simmer down. I don't even buy into the narrative that, like, oh, in Spelunky, there's just days like this. I don't know, now you're gonna send me off on a tangent. I think people are way too willing to cut their losses on things. And I'm not talking about economics. I'm talking about, like, you know, if they face, like, 2 consecutive setbacks in one day, they're like, I'm just gonna call it. I'm just gonna go home. Some of the, you know, most valuable days I've had in my entire life from the, you know, a personal, professional standpoint have come in situations where, you know, the start of the day was kind of poopy, and then, like, you eat breakfast and you come back and try again, and, you know, the day turns out fine. So I think that's, you know, that's the philosophy I'm going to try to bring to the rest of this episode right here. You know, we're not going to win first. That's not so bad. We're not going to win first try, obviously, because the first try was a long time ago. However, well, that's just a cluster right there. We could do okay for ourselves. I definitely think it's worth a bomb to get into the shop, as long as it doesn't aggro the shopkeeper. I think it was the only way we were making that happen. I love it. I love it. Now, I do want the cape, but getting climbers plus... Oh, this is a great floor. Getting climbers plus spring shoes should allow us to get the money we need to get, and then also get the cape. I think we can also, using the power of Robert, we can stop this from falling all the way, and as a result, easily get Monty. That's, honestly, Robert Intel is, like, next level, man. Okay, so this will only be 5,000. I don't think this takes us to cape. So now we're just kind of hoping that on this floor we do not have the key, because it's just like one more kind of difficult thing to handle. The cape is going to be 100% though, and we should be able to maybe use a bomb, get Monty, and then sack him, which I suppose we should do before we buy the cape, just in case the cape is actually good. So I'm gonna, or just in case the cape comes from the altar, I should say. So we're gonna be like a little, let's just put it this way, Yang's not gonna be too pleased with us. I think this will work. We're gonna try to get the 2 HP out of the turkey. So I'm really like, I'm thinking, I'm using my noggin, I'm trying to think ahead here. I'd rather have the 2 HP from the turkeys than the favor, I think. Unless we're gonna get the Kapala on this very floor, which seems impossible, or unlikely at least. There you go. 2 minutes gone. Lucky me. We didn't get a cape, which might be actually, let's not call it for the best, because it would have been nice to save some money there. But it's not horrible. I think we should, at this point, absolutely buy out everything from the shop. And again, time's getting a little tight. But the ropes are pretty cheap, and they'll give us the discount, and we kind of want them to begin with. We definitely also want the ghost pot, because we just got very spendy. And we're just going to hope that the key is not present on this floor, and if that's the case, then I think we're feeling pretty good. There were 3 turkeys on this floor. I don't think we'll have time to get that other one. But that was, like, amazing. That was pretty sick. So Yang's over there. I don't really want to mess with that guy today. I feel like he might be a little upset. But that was actually one of the best floors like we've ever had. Now, very debatable, like whether or not this is worth it. Especially knowing that in all likelihood this is the floor with the Ujat Eye on it. Hey, nothing wrong with making a little money. Obviously, we're hoping for something a little bit better than the telepack, which is, like, in some ways, probably, like, amongst the best items in the game. but like for my purposes. That's the first time we picked it up. That's hilarious. Compass is well worth it. If we can get it. Now remember, we don't get anything for like gambling the entire casino out, but we do get some items. Come on, man. It's a little bit of an opportunity cost here. We shouldn't stay here forever. I'm making money, but if we end up in a bit of a pinch with our other options, you know, like the key, for example, which is right here. You know what? I bet it's like right up there, which wouldn't be so bad. It is probably right up there. We're gonna cook Jesse. We just want to make sure we're not accidentally gonna like blow up the shopkeeper. Or ourselves for that matter, but that was a very good cook, Jesse. And I'm now realizing this is probably not the Ujat Eye. So we're gonna try to put a little bit of a rush job in. Also not the Ujat Eye. I don't think we care about the objects down here. Glasses, machete, camera, not at all. Okay, we got about a minute. It's not that bad. It's still not that bad. A minute is a pretty serviceable amount of time. I'm gonna use a bomb just to make sure we can make it. And this bomb actually might be worth HP. What the heck, man? So that must be it right there. Okay. So that what I mean is worth the HP. I mean we can probably drop our key. Well, to use the key, I guess, is a better way to describe it. That was not what I meant to do there, but that's okay. Now, am I willing to do this? You know what? I've decided the answer to that question is definitely not. Just to get Monty, I'm not willing to wade into the mole's house of disrespect. So what do we think about this run? We're finally, like, looking okay. I feel like I can afford to use a bomb to try to ice Quill back. Doesn't bother me. Got some loot. Not much, but some. We're only going to be at like 20 Gs. Probably we'd be looking for like a ghost pot. We have so many items, it's kind of tempting to go Volcana. I always use like boot psychology, right? I'm like, if I don't have boots, I gotta go to the black market. Then if I got boots, I'm like, I got boots, I gotta go to the jungle because they're strong on the jungle. I know I said we'd use a bomb here, but I lied. It's gonna take a bit. Rome wasn't built in a day. That's right, I still say it. It's still true. But it was destroyed in a day. Am I right? Nero? He's got to be like almost dead. I think we're getting a decent amount of money. Nice jump. For just, you know, taking our time here as well. I'm a little worried he's going to wreck the ghost pot. Wow, the rock hit him 2 times. Sure, you know, let's try to get Vladimir's cape. That sounds like an interesting way to do the back half of this. And if we really decide that boots are important, you know, hopefully we get a chance to get them. If we don't get a chance to get them, then so be it. Basically, that's my whole approach here. I agree, like it would be nice to have these things, and if we don't get them, then oh well, it sucks. Actually, now that I think about it, we have spring shoes. I just want spike boots for the tide pool. But then I'm like, do we even need spike boots for the tide pool? Like how much difference does it make? Don't they kill octopus anyway? Or like they allow you to jump on their head? Either way, we don't have pace. That's kind of like the bigger concern, I guess, but we could deal with a Vladimir. We could deal with a cape of Vladimir here. Hate that. I always hate that. Absolutely no problem with that, though. Oh, okay, so this is now real Kapala hours. That's, I'm stupid. That's, Van Horsing. Or the key for Van Horsing, I should say. And this one is all of a sudden, it's looking pretty decent. I feel vindicated. Well, not really vindicated, because I made the decision under duress. But I feel like this is now a decision that feels pretty good. You know, Vladimir's Cape plus Kapala. Pretty amazing. Obviously, we'll be feeling the burn from having a relatively low amount of bombs. But I also feel like the Olmec fight is a lot easier with Vlad's Cape than the normal Cape. We do die at the Olmec fight on occasion, so I'm definitely not, like, taking it for granted. Okay, free turkeys. You love to see it. We will spend one extra rope. I don't know, like, what do you think? Do you think the rope is worth a Kapala? I don't know, it's a tough one. Just kidding. We even, we got the warrior sacrifice as well. Alright, so we're going down. We're jumping on. I think we're just going in. I'm a little scared of what happens there if we don't. Your voice echoes in here, and we got another altar, which means, you know, again, we're gonna go through this discussion. NL, you gotta learn how to do the Ankh skip. Do I, though? Yeah. Like, we really, really should. Because we could, in theory, have, like, I don't know, 70 HP by the time we have to kill ourselves to get the Ankh. Don't use that unless we have to. I'm not gonna pick up the ruby because I am sweating it. Because our voice echoes, there's lots of space over here for potential sweet loot. Don't know what I was thinking there. Oh, because the moon challenge is here. I really don't want to blow up this guy. And you know what? Forget it. Like, I'm not even taking Monty. It's just way too much potential to, like, get crushed, to anger that whole situation. I don't support it. Now, we don't have a ton of time, but we do have a guaranteed clover, and this is one of, like, the rare ways we could actually get items on Volcana. So yeah, still, when you roll a 1, you should still look at it as a 50% chance to get the loot, right? Like, as long as you whip both times, only the second roll actually matters. Now, a free shotgun actually is worth, like, almost nothing now that I think about it. Like, it's okay for a floor, but we have to take the bow with us. So we'll just say it's the thought that counts on that one. Probably, let's do the moon challenge. So that casino kind of stunk, but whatever, you know? Not that big of a deal. We absolutely have to do the moon challenge. Get zapped. And we want to find the bow. Either way, again, it's like one of the only ways you can actually get items on Volcana. I suppose you could encounter like a real shop, but there's never a guarantee. Alright. There's a lot of gems in here, but also a big floor. See, like, what did I tell? So we're not, like, guaranteed to have an incredible run or anything, but what did I tell you? You know, things looked a little dire early on, and I said to myself, you know, when you try so hard and you don't succeed. Would have been very easy to be like, you know what? It's not my day. We've done it before, and inevitably we will do it again. Instead, we said, let's keep it moving. Let's try to be the change we want to see in the world of Spelunky, also known as Lordran. And here we are, having a run that I would say is better than quite decent. I'm not worried about hired help. I don't mind the idea of, like, using hired help to hold the bow. Except, when I said I don't mind, what I meant is, like, I think it's actually a horrible idea. I don't think it's a good idea at all. That's what I meant. We gotta go. I really thought this would be the path. Because that's not. But I guess the path is this way. I know you're like, use a bomb. I'm gonna. Thank you for the suggestion. I didn't think it would be worth it. It probably wasn't, but we're okay. Seems like we can. Ooh, a little spicy. I can't believe we didn't get hit. Probably should just shoot the bow, but like it's against my best wishes apparently for some reason. Are we doing okay? We got a minute on time. Come on, man. We really just want this turkey to be like in a spot where it can get cooked. Clover 2. This is gonna get me killed. So instead of doing this, I'm just gonna leave. This is not smart. We could get a fine. Oh, it worked! We could get a fine. I'll do it myself on Dracula. But dude, honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. This must be drill floor. Next time. There's another altar, which at this point is just hilarious to me. Well, we just gotta survive this floor. If we're just out here surviving, then that's exactly what we're gonna do. I do kind of want to see what's going on in this secret room. I still think Volcana needs to be balanced. You might disagree. I mean, everybody seems to. But I still think Volcana needs to be rebalanced. So maybe like these subspace rooms have better rewards. But I mean, of course, I got a lot of opinions about Spelunky. You know, I've played a lot of the original. I played a lot of the sequel. Some people might consider it a little selfish, but personally, I think that it would be for the best interests of everybody involved, especially myself, if they just tailored the balance of the game to me and me alone. I got a little scared there, I'm not going to deny it. This must be drill floor, or we've made a colossal error at some point. So, this is the drill. We're gonna kill this bat with the drill in the greatest example of overkill ever. I heard an explosion followed by the flowing of liquid hot magma. That's not abnormal though. It's actually very common. I'm glad I didn't go down there. Like in my head I was like, there's no way that guy makes it there, but would you look at that? So more ropes, okay. So we're not really worried about too much here until we get down to the lava. You know, Canadians say lava, myself included. I have had to train myself to say it differently so I don't end up mercilessly mocked by my predominantly American fan base and also social life. Touch spooky. Dracula. Okay, we got 12 HP. This is a very good time for us. This is where you reap the rewards of having gone to Volcana. Make sure you don't forget the clover. How cruel would that be if you could whip the clover, or if you could shoot the clover and break it? Now sometimes there's like a secret shop in here. Wink, 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 wink. You get a lot of money, no doubt about that. And you know what? Because we got all these ropes, we don't mind doing that. So we could just leave the bow back for a second here. I wish that these were more likely to be crates. Like, I think it should be more than one crate in there. We're doing okay, but like, it's a matter of principle. Great work. You got it, right? So we take Vlad's cape. We will not be returning his arrow this time. But that's only because I lost my arrow somewhere down the line. I see it over there, but I'm not worried about it, you know? That's like a fun little thing we do for humor's sake. I'm not willing to let it compromise a run, especially when we've been kind of having spotty success lately. Alright, so we're going to the Olmec fight. 8 bombs is pretty good. Certainly not feeling too bad about this right now. We really want this to be more bombs. The ropes are getting a little... It's a little much. Don't really need Monty, that's for certain. Alright, so it's gonna have to be like a pretty solid Olmec fight, but there's nothing wrong with it. I can't believe we're at 30 minutes into this episode. I guess we did have multiple colossal failures earlier. Okay. Now remember, you're just watching out. Because you got the climbers. Sometimes you could get yourself stuck to a wall. We need the Ankh. And this run has everything you need right now. I'm not letting myself get too nervous about it because I think it's only going to make you play worse. But I definitely feel like the major barrier to entry right here is actually this very fight. So what do? It's quite simple. Get Olmec to take some shots. We probably want to let him fall several times. See, this is a scary part. But Vlad's cape actually helps out a ton. So we probably want to, like, knock him down. Several times that's my take. Because it'll save us some bombs in the long run. We don't have, like, a rock or anything, though, so you gotta be very careful with the Cape of Vlad. You gotta be a little careful with it, right? So we'd actually love it if he just fell, like, in here, but we want him to be moving in the other direction. And we want a long runway, in case things go terribly wrong. Then how high does he come up? That's pretty good, I think. Seems very safe. You gotta be quick. What's that song? You gotta be quick, you gotta be bold, you gotta be Olmec. You gotta be quick, you gotta be bold, you gotta be Olmec. Okay, we're gonna use a rope, because, like... we probably didn't need to, but when you've got so many, it seems very foolish to, like, you know, play games with people's lives like that. Come in here. We want you to be moving to the left when we do this, just to be as safe as possible. And we're gonna hope that it's been, like, kind of destroyed down here. He's the greatest gamer. He's the greatest gamer that's ever existed. It's just like it was silky smooth. I told you we had good potentiality here. Just because we had a couple of bad runs. Here's the way I choose to look at it, right? Sometimes if you're having a bad day, it's better to cut your losses than to, like, let your bad attitude... I mean, I'm having a good day. I was just having a bad couple Spelunky runs. But sometimes if you're having a bad day, if you think it's going to, like, impact your attitude, and then possibly you're going to double down and be kind of, like, mean to people and make things worse, probably better to just, you know, maybe take the day or... you know, re-examine your relationship with video games. But then, like, if you just had a couple of bad runs, I think you gotta keep pushing. Because if you keep pushing, you give yourself the chance to actually, like, leave on a positive note. I'm a big fan of momentum. Like, sometimes I play chess, like, at night for recreation. One thing I try to do is, like, if I have a game that I'm a big fan of, like, I really like the way that I played... Usually that means it's a win, but even if it's a loss, if you're, like, proud of the way that you play, go to bed. Leave on a positive note, and then you'll be more likely, I think, on the next day to come back with a good attitude. You know what I mean? We don't really need Monty here. I tried, like last night, I had an awesome game, and I was like, oh, I had such a good game, I should play some more. Instead, I just went to bed, and I woke up feeling great about chess. Otherwise, you're kind of like a degenerate gambler, right? You just play, and then you never actually leave while you're ahead. And instead, you end up having terrible feelings about the game until you eventually just quit. I can't remember if this guy gets mad if we go in there. So we're just gonna not worry about it for now. But this is like, we've been training for this moment. This is very important to us. The items are kind of secondary, although I would still welcome the opportunity to get spike shoes. But what we really want to see... is just emptying out the entire casino, because if we empty out the entire casino, we get a lot of HP later. A lot of HP. So a power pack is, like, terrible here, but 50% chance. We're doing pretty well in here. You think she would be mad, right? Like, we're taking her for all she's worth. I was very wrong, by the way. You do win on the casino. Like, if you win double what you put in. I don't know why I thought her casino was rigged. It is, but it's in your favor. So then, I think you just, like... just to be on the safe... Obviously, they didn't mind me using the skeleton key. You just want to make sure you're safe on this one, you know? Very nice. We're still going, huh? Just don't want to accidentally kill that guy. 50% chance. We're doing really well. We don't need any of these items, but... Beautiful. We should be done now. Alright. I mean, I suppose, you know, in theory, you could take any of these items with you. Delightful. Just chill. We don't have, like, a ton of time. There you go. Thank God for the Kapala and the double HP. Spike shoes are better. Spring shoes still work. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. Remember, this floor we don't really care. If we're not doing the Onk skip, our HP essentially is irrelevant. Not completely, but pretty close. I can't help but shake the feel, or I can't help to shake the feeling that I'm forgetting something, but that's okay. We did also, like, in all the co-op I've been playing, I've got a little bit more of an appreciation for doing the stars challenge to get the clone gun. So I guess, like, the general process by which you would do that is you would get the clone gun, and then you would either clone, like... If you have multiple people, the clone gun's really good, because you could, like, kill one person if they have, like, 20 bombs. You clone their bomb bag, and everybody gets 20 bombs for the cost of just one person's friendship, which is pretty sweet. But you can also kill the... In single player, you can kill the fish at the bottom, and then you could get, the present, and then you could clone the present 3 times. Which actually seems very good as well. Especially because, like, we're lacking some items we'd really like here, like paste, for example. Who knows? I mean, the presents all pay out with different things, by the way. It's not like doubling them with a Yera rune or something like that. Very convenient subspace, by the way. Very convenient indeed. Alright, I mean, this run's got everything it needs, for now. There is an altar on this floor, right? This would be a great time for us to get royal jelly. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like we've played a very, very efficient and acceptable game of Spelunky here. Took us a couple of warm-up runs, but now I'm like, I'm feeling jazzed. Now, don't get poisoned. Okay, get poisoned is the other alternative. I suppose you could run there. Like I said, feeling pretty good about the game we played so far. Now, I will say, with the Kapala, we can get ourselves out of a little bit of a jam. This is one you should really just do that. With a double blood Kapala, like, I'm not sweating it as much as I otherwise would. It's kind of open, like, I'd see Monty over here. Monty? frick. We have to take Excalibur, that's the problem. And we don't... Okay, hold on. I know you're like, what are you doing? This is the way we get ourselves out of a stupid mistake. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm dumb. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time. See ya. F.